Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Final Play Sports Wrap with your host, Pete Lubar. And today we're talking Mountain West Wrap Up, a wrap up of the games that happened last week and a look ahead at games next week. The all 11 teams in the Mountain West were active in week 2 of the season. We'll take you through that. Boise State blitzed Eastern Washington 51-14. Maddox Madsen had 307 yards and 2 TDs, and Dylan Riley had 6 carries for 123 yards and 1 TD. New Mexico got into the win column with a hard-fought victory over Idaho State, 32-22. The Lobos looked hungover, honestly, from their Michigan trip, both offensively and defensively, as they trailed into the fourth quarter. However, they got the running game going, and Scotty Humphrey ran for 141 yards and 2 TDs on 18 carries, a pretty good average. The Lobos had a time-crushing drive late in the game to seal the victory and end any chance for an Idaho State comeback. So the Mountain West is now 2-0 against Idaho State. San Jose State lost on the road to Texas to fall to 0-2. They lost 38-7. They had just 188 yards passing and 89 yards rushing on 30 attempts, which is a terrible average. And Arch Manning went crazy, threw for 317 yards, 4 touchdowns. San Jose State had 4 turnovers and a missed field goal. You do not win many games when you turn the ball over 4 times and miss field goals. So not a good game for the Spartans. Meanwhile, Utah State traveled to College Station to take on Texas A&M, and they got blitzed as well, losing 44-22. And they also had only 172 yards passing and 78 yards rushing, and they gave up over 500 yards of total offense. However, their punter had a big day. He earned a scholarship. He punted 9 times and averaged about 40.5 yards on those 9 kicks. So Landon Reckow, congratulations for earning your scholarship this week. But you never want to get outgained and out-punted or punt that much in a game, so Utah State cannot be particularly happy with that effort. Fresno State beat future Pac 8.5 opponent Oregon State 36-27. Oregon State dominated the statistics, gaining over 500 yards of total offense to about 300 for Fresno, but they had 2 pick sixes in the final quarter to lose the game. So they were in it, had a chance to win, but 2 pick sixes in the last maybe 7 minutes of the game is not going to win you too many games. So that's that. Wyoming moves to 2-0 as they beat Northern Iowa 31-7. Nevada squeaked by D1 hopeful Sac State 20-17. Jonathan Maldonado had a pick 6 for the Wolfpack with 2:17 left to seal the come-from-behind victory. Colorado State had a tougher time than expected with Northern Colorado as Braden Fowler Nicolosi scored a touchdown in the last minute to complete a come-from-behind victory. So tough game for them, but they got it done. The probably best win for the Mountain West this week, UNLV beat UCLA in Las Vegas 30-23. UNLV got up 23-3 in the first half with 2 80-yard scoring drives, so really good effort there. And then they got 2 turnovers, and they held on for the win. New Mexico plays UCLA this week, so we'll see if UCLA can go 0-2 against the Mountain West. San Diego State got trounced by future conference member Washington State, 36-13. They had just 213 yards in total offense. They were down, this is crazy, they were down 10-7 with 1:11 to go in the first half. And then Washington State got a safety. And then when they got the ball punted back to them, they took it down for a 4-play touchdown. And they scored with about 8 seconds left in the first half. So a game that was very competitive, very tight, was suddenly 20-7 at halftime. And then they scored, Washington State scored on the first drive of the second half, which put the game away. And that was it for San Diego State. So not a great effort for them. Hawaii improved to 2-1, beating Sam Houston 37-20 in Honolulu. Luke Weaver was the quarterback, and he was 27 of 42 for 294 yards and 3 touchdowns for the Wahine, so pretty good effort for him. Propoli Ashlock hauled in 7 receptions for 128 yards and 2 TDs. Hawaii scored on its first possession and never really looked back. They led 17-6 at halftime, and as a result, go on to a relatively easy win. If we look at the schedule, only 6 Mountain West teams play this week. And so San Diego State, UNLV, Boise, CSU, and San Jose State are all on bye this week, giving them an extra week to prepare. So light schedule. New Mexico travels to UCLA. That might be a very interesting game. New Mexico played pretty well in the second half against Idaho State. UCLA kind of played okay against UNLV. New Mexico and UNLV sort of beat Idaho State by the exact same amount. So it may be a very close game. UCLA is favored by 15.5. It wouldn't surprise me if it ends up being 10 points or less. Still probably favoring UCLA. Middle Tennessee is heading to Nevada. Nevada is not all that great. Based on the early scores this season, Middle Tennessee is not all that great based on the scores this season. Nevada should win at home. I think it'll be a tight game, maybe 5.5 points, 4 points, something like that. Number 20, Utah travels to Wyoming. It would not surprise me. Utah is real. They're 20th ranked. They have Devin Dampier, New Mexico transfer as a quarterback. They've got the offensive coordinator from New Mexico. They've started out averaging 500 yards per game, something crazy like that. I expect Utah to roll, probably winning by 35. Air Force is playing at Utah State in a matchup of conference opponents. This is going to be a very interesting game because Air Force looks like they found a quarterback and they have started the season fairly strong. Utah State is 1-1, but didn't look particularly good last week. So Mendenhall did beat Air Force last year while at New Mexico. I'm not sure this Utah State team is all that good yet. I expect Air Force to win, potentially by 10 or more. Southern is heading to Fresno State. Wherever Southern is, Fresno State should win this one by 28. And Portland State travels to Hawaii. I expect Hawaii to win by 14. So small schedule this week, and that's the way it is. But we'll recap it next week. Hope you all enjoyed this edition of the Final Play Sports Wrap. If you did, please subscribe to my YouTube page. It doesn't cost you anything, but it sure helps me out. Appreciate you. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.